Hey spectator, if you would think of any card in a deck, the two of clubs, excellent choice. Let me see if I can run through and find that. And I think I know where it is. And if you would, just think of any number between, let's say 5 and 30. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a hint, and I'm going to try to send it to you now. A number may pop into your head instantly, and do you have one? 18. Let's see if I was able to do that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Not the 19th card, not the 17th card, but you said the 18th card, which happened to be the two of clubs. Good job and well done. All right, guys, let's learn how to do this trick now. Alright guys, so I hope you like this trick. This is probably the easiest a card at any number that I know using sleight of hand, except for maybe the glide method. Maybe I'll make a video on that in the future. But if you're looking for an even easier self-working version, I have a card at any number self-working video, and I'll put a link in the description. You can check that out after this video. Also, I think the mnemonic card at any number that I like to do, which is actually my preferred method, is also an easy version as well, and it uses a number force, so I'll leave some links in the description. You can check those out as well, and I'll probably make a future video where I actually make the actual trick mnemonic card at any number using the number force, so you can see how that works. That's actually my preferred method because it's super clean and pretty powerful. But this one has tons of benefits in itself because it's fairly easy sleight of hand compared to most card at any numbers. And at the same time, you can use a borrowed shuffled deck. There's no setup. It's impromptu, and the spectator can legitimately name any card and any number, so there's no forces or anything going on. So it's very clean in that sense. Another benefit is that you can do this trick strolling and you don't need a table. You can do it completely in your hands if you're doing street magic or strolling magic or any of that type of magic. Let's jump into the handling now. Alright, so for this trick to work, basically you need to know how to control a card to the top of the deck, and theoretically you could use really any method that you wanted if you just wanted the spectator to pick a card rather than name a card. I like to follow the a card at any number premise where they can legitimately name any card. So that's why I do it as I did in the presentation, and I'll show you how I do this. And it also works with the pattern that I use to justify looking at the cards. So let's say they name the two of clubs. I will spread through till I find it. There it is. And I will basically attain a pinky break. Of course, I'm doing this at speed, but I will just put this little finger, I will close the spread, but keep my little finger there to keep a break right under that two of clubs, and then immediately I'll do a turnover pass to bring that two of clubs to the top. An easier method that you could do is to, let's say they name the ace of diamonds, you could spread through till you get to it, so it's the final card here, and you could just you could spread the deck like this, talk and say, I'm looking through the cards, I'm going to try to figure out what number this card is at in the deck, and I'm going to send that to you, and then you could just casually put this right hand packet underneath. So you've essentially cut the deck and cut that card to the top. You could also do another method is, let's say they said the two of spades. You could find that, do the same thing where you're going to get a pinky break, and then you could just immediately double undercut the cards. Of course, that will kind of mess up the pattern of, I'm going to see where it is in the deck, because now you've just cut the cards, so you've changed the order and you wouldn't know where it is anymore. And one final method is you could cull the card if you wanted. So you could, if you're good at culling, if they said the 8 of spades, you could cull it out under the spread like that and bring it to the top. So that's another method. And I'll show you that turnover pass over the back real quick. And for the turnover pass method, which I used in the presentation, here's what I would do. I would spread through the cards till I locate the card they named. Let's say it was the 10 of spades. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my index finger right there so I can hold a momentary break on it, and I'll kind of go through the rest of the cards, act like I'm looking at all of them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and pull this apart just briefly, enough where I can get my pinky underneath, and then I will close the spread, and so I'll have a break, and then I'll just do a turnover pass like that very quickly, which will bring the card to the top. So hopefully that made sense. Alright, so now that you have asked the spectator to name a card and controlled it to the top, or had them select a card and controlled it to the top, we will use the 9 of hearts in this example. You're going to ask them to name a number between, you could theoretically do between 1 and 52. In the presentation, I did 5 to 30, just because I don't want too large of a number where you're just sitting here counting forever, and the spectator may not want to watch that as well. But, you know, feel free to do that because it would still work. I think, though, if they named like 51, that might kind of be a problem with this. And also I say 5 to 30 because if they were to name a low number, that may also be a little bit of problem with this method. But the way it works is, let's say they name the number 10. You're going to just count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by thumbing these cards off into this hand. And then immediately you're going to say, not the 11th card, you're going to push that card over, raise this up, which is going to give a little bit of misdirection for you to basically do a reverse spread with these cards. I'm going to show all this over the back in a second as well. And then you'll come down with this, and you're going to grab this card, which is the selected card right here, and you'll say, and immediately flash, instruct, say not the 9th card, but you said the 10th card, and you will flip this one over, show that it's the selected card. And I like to drop those cards on top so it really looks like it kind of came out of that position in the deck and sells that illusion where you've just kind of switched the cards around. And let's go over the back and check that out now. Alright, so if the selected card was the 3 of spades, that's on top, and if they said 10, we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and say not the 11th card. So you're doing that, you're going to reverse spread like that. Again, all I'm doing is just pushing these cards out like that so that the bottom card, the 3 of spades, is right here now. And I would come back down, grab that on this deck, and flash this, and say not the 9th card, but you said the 10th card, which is the 3 of spades. And that should conclude the trick. And guys, I hope you like that. Leave a comment and a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the next video. And thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it.